Beautiful day, Patriots. How are you? I thought I'd want to do a little story time about that video last night about the bench that showed up, kind of funny. I just got done making a desk. I've been without a proper desk for a couple months now. Up in Central Oregon, the seasons are, well, you do a lot of things when the season allows you, yeah? And now that it's getting colder and the fireplace has been burning, I've set myself up with a new desk. So let's see. Voila. Beautiful new desk. I'm very, very excited about it. So what are we talking about though? We're talking about the bench from last night's video. It kind of reminded me because it was really bizarre how uh, that that video shows up because it's from 2016. I don't believe it's 2017. It might be as old as 2016, that video. And it shows a bench that I had made in that video. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever happened to that bench? I was like, oh, that's right. I know exactly where that bench is at. And I thought it would be a fun little story to talk about where that bench is. And I was, a lot of, hash this story here. I was able to visit a military friend on the Hopi Indian Reservation and spend quite a long time up there. I think it was 58 days, 60 days up in Hopieville a few years ago. And that's where that particular bench ended up. Now, it's not the same bench that some of you know of a story, and we'll get into all that. So let's do a fun little story. That bench was shown at a art walk in Bend, Oregon. The Mrs. Amber Stubbs, Dr. Amber Stubbs, what a awesome. It'd be funny to hear what she thinks of me because everything she said was correct and her advice was right, but I didn't take her advice. Kind of funny, huh? So it would be funny to see what she thought about that whole experience. But wonderful experience meeting her and going through that. Also, so we're back to the bench. That particular bench ended up at a trading post right here on the corner. Right here. And that particular bench, I think, would be like, say, right here. There's a campfire right here. And I sold a different bench to this gentleman that was shaped like this. Had a big log here and a big log here and a big log here. It stood straight up, and then so a big old log cut sideways for it to sit on that I wedged in between them. And so while I was there, he paid me to build him another one with the lumber that he had and logs shaped like this to match it. And then the one in the video ended up over here with the fireplace right here. Yeah, it's really cool. It was a beautiful spot. Yeah. So this is coming into Kvosimo. You dead ends up here. This goes up to the museum up this way. And First Mesa, I believe, is that way. I could be wrong on that. Yes, so that's where that bench is. But that is not the same bench that is up here. This goes into town. But if you go up the hill, there's another trading post that's right here. And that one has a bench that I made that came at a different time. This is when I was there. Man, what an experience. When I was there, I was staying at a very, very famous house. And they had a library that was, yeah, amazing. And I also was staying at this other place that was across the street. And it also had a library. And I read probably, I don't know, 40, 50 books, 100 magazines. It was amazing. I went up there to learn how to carve wood, but it wasn't quite right. I learned how to do other different type of things. This is a necklace, even though it's on a keychain. But it was funny, the wood and techniques were so different that it just wasn't possible for me to learn a lot of different type of wood carving techniques. But I didn't let that not stop me to learn new things. Did I say that right? Yeah. So far it's kind of a boring video. But right up here was where the trading post is, where I came back a second time. And everybody has heard this story before. When I put the bench, little sitting bench, this one was a small one. This was a one-seater. These are 2- and 3-seaters. This one will hold like 8. And then that one will hold 8. These ones are huge. But this one's just a one-sitter. A one-person sitter. And when I got done putting it together and sat down in it, it was facing this direction, which was due east. There's a big, huge mesa right over here. And this place is right on the wash. Which, that's a whole nother story there. But when I was finished putting that bench together, I sat down, was looking directly east, and right at that moment the sun rose above the mesa. So I mean, it was already daylight for an hour or so, but the huge mesa was keeping the actual sunlight from the land. So when I sat down and looked this way, the sun just peeked up over the horizon, the mesa top. And I was, wow, that's just unbelievably beautiful timing. That was awesome. And at that exact same moment, I can't explain it. It just makes no sense whatsoever. I heard a song come out of the sky. Well, at first I didn't think it was like coming out of the sky. I didn't know where it was coming from. I got up out of the bench because I know that there's not. The town is a mile away. Down this road is a mile away, and then Old Arabi's up here, which is 4 miles away, 2 miles away. So I'm like, where is this music coming from? It's a big, loud brass band. Full band, the whole 9 yards. And they just instantly started this song. And I'm like, I got up and I went and looked around back over here. I went and looked back over here. I'm like, that's impossible. Finally, I just had to sit down and just realize that it was coming straight from the sky. And I heard the whole song, didn't recognize it. And I got in my car within another hour. I had left, and about 200 miles away was at that point I realized what song it was that I had heard, and I was like, oh my gosh, I I recognize that song. It's